She never imagined a frozen creek could hide such a secret. The biting wind carved lines of frost across the prairies as dusk settled on the ridge, turning the world pale and brittle. Down in a hollow, the creek's surface lay glazed with a thin sheet of ice, delicate yet treacherous whispering of danger. The moon, veiled behind low clouds, cast a dull glow, barely enough to trace the outlines of twisted branches in the sharp dip. Where water should run, that night the first of the three came, a tiny wail, muffled and desperate, breaking the hush of winter. No sound preceded it, no footsteps, no cracking snow, no sign of life besides the gray hush. The wail seemed to float on the icy air, soft, fragile, then fading into the distance. Moments later, a second cry, more urgent, more insistent, and then a third, a single, trembling wail that sounded more like a question than a cry for help. They, but whoever they were, whoever abandoned these innocent souls, had dropped 3 newborn babies into that icy hollow, perhaps hoping the ice would hold them until morning, perhaps hoping the creek would carry them away. Or maybe it was cruelty or fear or despair, or a twisted act of someone's worst instincts. The reason didn't matter in that moment. What mattered was the babies, tiny, fragile, shivering, and the cold that threatened to swallow them. Half a mile away in a ramshackle corral beside a dying barn stood a lone cowboy. His name didn't matter to most people. He was just another wandering drifter, broken by loss and hardened by whiskey. They called him the Broken Cowboy. He wore his pain like a second skin, broad shoulders slumped, sun-beaten hat pulled low, eyes hollow with grief and memory. Once people said he had fire in him, a quick draw, a steady hand, a purpose. But something had taken that from him. A wife lost, a child taken, or both. A drunk driver maybe, a fire maybe, or perhaps just bad luck stacked one on another until he wasn't sure why he rode anymore. That night the Broken Cowboy should have been sleeping, or at least lying half dead beside his horse, letting the world pass him by. But he wasn't asleep. The fading light in his eyes flickered as he heard that plaintive cry. The kind only the helpless, only the innocent and can summon. The kind that claws at the chest of anyone who still remembers what it means to feel. He froze. For one breath, the world held its own breath with him. The cry came again, sharper this time, frightened, cold, fragile. Without thinking, he threw aside his faded coat, vaulted atop the barn rail, pulled his horse in a wordless gesture, and rode toward the sound. His boots slipped in the snow, his horse's breath steamed in the cold air. The ridge loomed, the creek hollow below, and the moonscape of white gave way to a darker gray where the ice lay over water. A trap for anything soft, small, alive. As he crested the ridge, he saw them, 3 faint forms